Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Monday, November 25th, 2012. This is Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works, and I'm your Monday Vlogger B. Now, this week's topic, if I could get my iPad open, is one that's actually a pretty simple question, but something I'm kind of passionate about, so I'll try not to preach. It might happen, but it's just a pet peeve of mine, and well, you'll see how it goes here in a minute. It reads, if I follow my surgeon's rules to my weight loss surgery, how do I stop from losing weight, becoming skin and bones? Well, put my coffee down. As individuals, as people living in these bodies, in these machines that we have, we lose weight when we start our journeys at a very, very high amount. You know, when I say an amount, I mean pounds per month, or pounds per tick, or pounds per time interval. At a very high amount, because we're not used to the nutritional intake. We're not used to the amount of exercise. And as we kind of get used to that, and as we kind of venture out a little bit, we tend to taper off. That weight loss tends to taper off, and it'll eventually get to a point where it stops normally. This is a principle that nutritionists call energy balance. It has to do with the metabolic rate of our body versus the amount of food we bring in versus the amount of work that we do. And it's kind of a complicated and boring thing, but under normal working conditions, right, our bodies will reach an equilibrium state where we continue doing the same amount of work that we do, we continue to eat the same amount of foods that we eat, but the loss of weight isn't as much as it used to be. And that's normal. That's a good thing. That's how we know we're becoming normal people. Now, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes our bodies don't stop losing weight. Sometimes we will continue to lose weight until we're this big around. And we're doing everything right. And we're going to eating our food properly. We're drinking our water. We're bringing in the right amount of calories. We're doing our exercise. And we just keep losing weight. I don't have that problem. But you know, I've gotten this question from people before, which is why I'm kind of laughing, because I give them the same response and they kind of look at me funny, and then they realize that, yeah, it's true. You know, and the answer is simple. I won't beat around the bush. The answer is really simple. If we were following the rules to weight loss surgery, right, if we were listening to everything our doctor said, this would not be an issue. Because the last thing your doctor says to you before you leave his office or her office is, come back and see me in 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And that's not just so that they can keep your business or so they can get your $35 copay. There's actually a very sound medical principle that's involved here. When you go to the doctor, they take your blood pressure, they take your temperature, they take your weight, they take your height, all those things. And they write them down in your chart. And your doctor goes in and he opens your chart up and he looks and he says, okay, Brian weighed this much today, and blah, 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 blah. And then he goes and he talks to you and he takes your $35 and then you go to Starbucks. That's what I do. But this is for a reason. You see, when we're hurt, when something's wrong with our bodies, we know, right? Oh, I got this pain in my side, or oh, I can't sleep, or man, I've had a fever. There are all these signs and symptoms of things that are wrong with us. And we go to the doctor. Sometimes these things aren't so evident. Sometimes we have to dig a little deeper to discover them. And sometimes we don't discover them at all. But there are things that we can do to help us observe these things. And here's what I mean. If you have a decent doctor or surgeon, they'll look at that chart and they'll say, alright, so Brian had his surgery in April, and in May he lost 20 pounds, and in June he lost 20 pounds, and in July he lost 20 pounds, and in August he lost 18 pounds, and in September he lost 15 pounds. In October he lost 45 pounds. What happened there? In November he lost another 45 pounds. Something's not right here. Let's ask Brian what's going on in his life. And then you go and you say, well, Doc, I'm not doing anything different. And Doc says, well, you've lost a lot of weight. Let's do some blood work. And then they catch something. Malnutrition or whatever it might be. But unless there's some kind of track history, there's no way for your physicians or your surgeons to see those types of things. Now, that's just one example. You go in one day and your doctor says, you know what? You're at 100 pounds, you're 5'8", you're kind of underweight. I want you to bump up your caloric intake to 1,200 calories a day instead of 900. I want you to do that for 6 weeks, and I want you to come back and see me. Weight gain is just as much of a process as weight loss. That whole maintenance thing is just as much of a process as our weight loss surgery journey is. Ask anybody that's in maintenance, they'll tell you. And you can't do it alone. Just like you can't travel your journey alone. Just like you can't have your surgery alone. You can't maintain your weight alone. It takes constant supervision. It takes following those rules, because the rules are different for maintenance than they are for weight loss. And none of that you can do by yourself. Seeing your doctor regularly is probably the most important of those lists of rules you get from your surgeon. And like I said, it's not just so they can have your $35 copay. There's a very sound explanation. So when you ask me, how do you keep from becoming underweight? Go see your doctor regularly. That's how you do it. There's no tricks. There's no tips. I'm not going to tell you to eat a candy bar a day. I'm going to tell you to take 2 days off from running or working out a week. You know, there's a much simpler way. Go see your doctor. Plain and simple. So that's it. I'm going to shut up before I preach, because I will start to preach. Anyway, short and sweet this week, but as simple as the answer is, it's a pretty important topic. So I hope you got something out of this, even if it was just a little bit. Make sure you thumbs up, don't thumbs down, subscribe, tell your friends, come back and see us tomorrow for another Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works vlog, and come back and see me on Monday for another Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works video. Have a great week, guys. Take care. Bye.